Hello, my name is Martin Kosovich. I am your child's AP US History teacher this year, and welcome to my virtual open house. Probably the most important thing here is how to contact me. The best way to contact me is via my email, kosovichm@bbhcsd.org. Even if you want to talk to me in person, which I'm open to and encourage, just type in the email field that you would like to speak with me, and I will call you back from the school line. My free periods are 1st, 5th, and 8th, and I will schedule appointments to meet with kids during those time, one at a time, or via Zoom if it's a remote day, to help support them in the best way I can. Okay, what do I teach and advise? I am teaching 4 different preps this year. I am teaching AP US History, which I've taught for 6 years. Honors World this year, and I've taught academic or honors for over the last 7 years. AP Comparative Government for the last 3, and International Current Events for the last 5 years. I am also the advisor for Model United Nations and BTV, and both of those clubs are scheduled to be on this year. Okay, important things regarding COVID-19 in this year. This year is unlike any before within living memory, and is my full intention to be flexible. It's important that we pause and take a breath, and we will work through this school year together. As with all things 2020, everything in this presentation is tentative and subject to change once we discover the best practices in a hybrid learning environment. Lastly, because I am a social studies teacher, I teach history and I teach a politics course, I do not share my political, social, or religious views with your children. Okay, how do I teach AP US? Well, I'm going to start with the 2020 specific changes. I am going to teach topic by topic, and that means breaking down the AP US curriculum supplied by the College Board. And there are about 105 topics that I must cover before the end of the school year. So what that means is that I must cover a topic a day. And I've broken the textbook down and created a reading correlation guide. And the average reading is about 10 pages a night, which I find to be doable. Typically, there will be a daily burst instruction video, anywhere between 5 and 20 minutes, though the average is going to be probably about 10. The one that they will have, the very first one will be 22, but that's because I'm laying the groundwork. But I don't plan to do over 20 very often. After they complete that video, watch that video, which will post at class time. So my assumption is they're logging into Google Classroom during class time, and they're going to watch that daily burst instruction. And then I am going to post AP topic questions that correlate to that topic within AP Classroom. It is that formative question that will also be attendance for the day. So make sure that is completed within the time period, or within the period of within the class period. If it's late, it'll be considered tardy, and if it's not in by 2:35, you will be marked as absent for the day. Bare minimum, students must read, and students must take chapter notes. One of the other important things that we're going to be working on is development of the AP historical thinking skills, such as context, continuity and change, causation, etc., throughout the school year. There will be a special emphasis on primary and secondary sources, because those will help with the short answer questions and document-based questions. Additionally, we're going to work on long essay questions. Your child has all this information underneath general files and materials in Google Classroom under classwork. I have also created a massive interactive timeline online that they have access to help them contextualize the materials that they are reading. Okay, digital platforms. The 4 major ones are Google Classroom, AP Classroom, Progress Book, and Edulastic. Google Classroom, that's going to be the primary vehicle for updates, materials, files, and some classes' learning activities, especially the daily burst videos. AP Classroom is where the practice is going to happen, the formatives. That's where we have the topic questions and the period formative checks. Lastly, we have Progress Book, which will be grade reporting and also other formative checks. And lastly is going to be Edulastic, where we're going to see a lot of the summative assessments. I will fold in the next 3, Newselo for sure, and I may roll out Flipgrid and or Edpuzzle if it is warranted. If I don't think it's warranted, I'm not going to belabor, or I'm not going to add extra work and extra platforms just to add them to the list of things that your students already, or your children are already using. Okay, evidence of learning. 2 types: formative, snapshot of their current progress, helps me augment the way I direct instruction, 20%. Summative is the evidence of the learning, quizzes, tests, and projects. Things are going to change this year because of COVID. So in terms of summatives, they're mostly going to be written. There will be some summatives that will be multiple choice, but they're not going to be nearly as many as I used to in the past, which is a hindrance because I used to collect over 500 pieces of data on your children before the AP exam, and I'm going to have to try to find some other way to collect that data that way I normally would with the summative assessments. Retakes, it is at my discretion and a case-by-case basis due to the environment that we're living in right now. When it comes to the writing the free response questions, it's assumed at the very beginning that your child will have to do some rewrites, and that's okay. That's expected, and it's not something to get bent out of shape if they do not do well on those free response questions at first. It's expected, and I'd be more surprised if someone that was not in a former AP course walked into this one and did well on those. So just to give you a heads up, parents, expect to see some poor grades on those initial free response questions, but I do provide rewrites to help them start building those AP critical thinking skills and writing and argumentation skills. All right, thank you. If you have further questions, reach out to me through my email address, and I look forward to working with you and your child through this school year.